So I hope this finds you all well. Kim and I just wanted to give you a brief update. We're coming down to Charlotte next weekend, that's March 31st, April 1st. But we just thought we'd give you a brief update on where things stand, and we're aware that we haven't communicated for a little while. And that's because we wanted to communicate a definite step forward the next time we communicated with you.
Now, you may remember at the beginning of the year, we closed the door on the Start in Your Kitchen church plant. We just realised it wasn't for us, and we've been looking to team up with a church to plant out of. Now, we're really hoping that that opportunity has come, and that's where the delay has been, because there's been a lot of waiting and waiting, but we've been inching forward in terms of getting a yes, so we're nearly there.
Yeah, we're nearly there, but we're not there, so we're waiting on them to make their decisions, and so it's not 100% guaranteed. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about the opportunity. The opportunity is to join a church in Arlington. We live very near to Arlington. It's the area probably we've got to know best and like the best. And they meet on a Sunday evening. It's a fairly young church. It's been going for about 3 years. They're part of a little group of churches in the DC area. I think I've told you, some of you about it, a little group called Renew DC. 3 church plants, all thriving, all doing really well. And they are Anglican churches. Mostly their congregations are young, professionals and kids. And the opportunity would be to come in as a church planter. So to come and join them as somebody who is, definitely recognized that that's what I'm doing. I'd also be serving them as an associate pastor, but it would be a very definite role pointing towards planting a church, which I think is very different to some of the other offers we've had, where it's, yeah, sure, come and work with us, we'd love to have you work with us, and maybe somewhere down the line we could think about a church plant.
And we actually like the people that we have met so far in connection with Renew DC, not only the leaders themselves, who are very interesting and have done pioneering things, and just nice guys and fun people.
They know the DC area very well, they know the culture, that's important, and they're a terrific band of brothers, the 3 churches. There's a real sense of collegiality and support on that level.
So with all these things, there are negatives as well, and we wanted to present those to you for your consideration, along with the positives, so that will help your feedback to us. So the first negative point is finance, as it often is. The pastor's had a chat with Matt. They had a brief chat yesterday, and he said he's probably got about 50% of the salary. And so that, of course, raises the question, gosh, do we then have to raise the whole amount? And he said, well, no, there are other churches that we can look to. There might be ways he can eke out some more. So that is a factor for us. How lovely it would be to walk into a job with the full salary, but also it would be some fundraising for us.
So the other thing, and this has been probably the thing that I've wrestled with most of all, is that the church is a very different style of church to the one we know. So the little group of churches, the 3 churches, Renew DC, they are Anglican churches, they do liturgy, and that's quite strange to us, but actually we've seen some real positives in how that actually in many ways meets the culture here. Yeah. And of the sort of Anglican fold, we've actually been attending a large Anglican church called the Falls Church, which has been the most spirit-filled of all the churches of any kind that we've been to. Lots of prayer ministry going on within the body of the church, not on a Sunday morning, but lots of prayer ministry, healing prayer, etc., etc. And so it's not like we're thinking, well, there's no way that we could ever fit within an Anglican framework. We actually see that would work really well. But I don't want to overplay that, because I also recognize that they are a very different style of church. And there are times when I think, how is it going to work? How could we really fit with them? And even if we could fit for a season of a couple of years working while we begin the plant, are we so different that the people in that church are just never going to want to come with us because we're just these strange, charismatic folk? And I don't think that's right. I don't think that's going to happen. But it does worry me at times that the churches, the cultures, our church culture, or our sense of DNA, if you will, and their church culture are just so different that it's difficult to see how it will work.
But of course, one of the biggest things for us is to just get started. We need to sort of get our foot in the door so that we can move on with the church plant, with getting to work, with, moving in every aspect into the area. We've had a great few months visiting churches, getting to know people, and actually we really have looked at each other and said, we want to stay here. We can see ourselves here. This feels like home. It's interesting, even the first 2 months here, I found myself at Christmas saying to people, I feel really at home. So pushing all the way back. We really need to get our foot in the door somewhere, get working, beginning to plant, beginning to push through, and then of course begin to settle for us as a family.
So we would love your prayer, we'd love your thoughts, and we'd love your feedback. That this church in Arlington, the pastor, he's meeting with his council next week, and I think that will, well, it might be the moment when the door closes again, in all honesty, or it might be the moment where the door opens and we move to the next level of conversation. So I think it would be great to pray that becomes clear next week, rather than we're left with vagueness and all that kind of stuff in a good Anglican fashion. But so we really like, either the door opens or the door closes, and then we can think again and make sure that it is right from our point of view. So we'd love your feedback. Please give us feedback. It helps us so much to hear what your thoughts are, and we'd love your prayers, particularly next week. And in the meantime, while we've been waiting, because there has been a lot of waiting, because sometimes we can't force the issue. Kim and I have been working very hard on New ID, and really moving New ID to a new stage. It's been set up now as a non-profit. It's fully established as a non-profit. We are moving all the materials online, created an entire social network, a website that where all the materials are that people can download, and so really beginning to move a New ID to a new stage, hopefully as part of the way that we can support and sustain ourselves as a family, but obviously as a way to get New ID to far more churches, particularly in the US.
Now, of course, I'm really, really excited about the New ID developments, and I see such potential for growing the course, for developing leaders, for really looking after the attendees post the course. So those have been some of the things that we've been working on.
So we very much hope that we'll see some of you in a couple of weekends' time, and we look forward to just hearing your feedback and any thoughts or any questions you have and anything you would like to hear from us. So thanks for listening in, and we appreciate your time and we appreciate you.
Yes.